This is CBC Here and Now.
After a boy got a bad sunburn here at this beach, the city of Mount Pearl is changing the way it does things at its summer camps. I'm Jeremy and I'll have that story coming up.
A rental property that's been trouble for 20 years.
Tonight, residents of a St. John's neighborhood say they've had enough. Good evening, I'm Anthony Germain.
And I'm Carolyn Stokes.
Severe sunburn. You almost expect to get it as an adult, but you don't expect your 8-year-old child to get burned to a crisp, especially at a city-run day camp.
But that's what happened to a Mount Pearl boy, and now the mayor says changes are coming. Here Now's Jeremy Eaton has the story.
This is what the 8-year-old looked like after a camp outing last week. Sunburnt, blistered, and painful. His father said in a widely shared Facebook post that the family doctor called the sunburn very serious.
The city is mostly concerned about the welfare of all of the children that's in our program. So we have 210 kids. We've had one reported incident this summer of a sunburn, so it's fairly isolated. We're thankful of that.
The summer campers made a day trip to Marine Park, but the young boy went home looking like this. In a Facebook post, the father vented his frustrations after meeting with city staff. The complaint led to meetings over the weekend and discussions with camp counselors.
It's a challenging environment some days when you're in the water. You can't wait for the sunburn to start to make you sore. You can't wait for your skin to turn red. Our camp counselors have to be vigilant to ensure that the sunscreen is maintained.
It's also prompted a policy change for Mount Pearl day campers when making trips to the water.
We're instituting a swim shirt policy whereby when we do an outdoor swim or an outdoor outing, shoulders and arms and stomach and back have to be covered with a swim shirt.
In the Facebook post, the boy's father wrote that he went to see the police and that he will be contacting a lawyer. Mayor Aker hopes the changes made will ensure it won't happen again.
Our concern is with the welfare of the young fella who had the sunburn. One sunburn is way too many for us, and I think we've been very proactive in dealing with this.
I did reach out to the father of the sunburnt boy to try to get an interview for the story, but he told me he was unavailable because he was meeting with the mayor. Now the city of Mount Pearl hopes that its summer camp staff now knows how quickly sun can affect the skin so that kids can start to focus on what summer is really about, having fun. Jeremy Eaton, CBC News, St. John's.
A woman from Labrador was killed in a two-vehicle collision in northern New Brunswick this weekend. Police say a pickup truck carrying 2 people crossed into the oncoming lane and hit another pickup head-on. 2 men from New Brunswick were pronounced dead at the scene Saturday morning. The woman from Labrador, who was a passenger in one of the trucks, was taken to hospital but died of her injuries. A 73-year-old Labrador man remains in hospital but is expected to survive.
The mayor of Carbonear was reinstated today after he was voted off council in December. Frank Butt was accused of bringing forward a motion that could have financially benefited him, but a Supreme Court judge decided otherwise. This afternoon, Butt rejoined council. Here Now's Malone Mullen is in Carbonear live. Malone, you spoke with the mayor earlier today. What did he have to say?
I did speak with him. He said that he was feeling really good about this moment. When he entered, it was to lots of applause, but he said it was a long time coming. By council last December after being elected just 3 months earlier, but it all started back in 2014. As a councillor, Butt moved to demolish a rundown building in town at the expense of the owner. However, the building was beside a gas station he himself owned. For 3 years, all was quiet. Then council received an anonymous letter. It raised the question of Butt's involvement with that motion and whether he stood to gain financially from having the building torn down. So, on the advice of a city lawyer, council voted to remove the mayor. Butt challenged that in court, and earlier this month, a Supreme Court judge ordered that Butt be reinstated as mayor of Carbonear. Butt said there was never any conflict of interest. He said hundreds of people wanted the building torn down, and so he put it back on the agenda. Butt said earlier today in a phone call, quote, "I was doing what I was supposed to do," and he said he's looking forward to getting back to work, which is what he started doing right here behind me in City Council chambers. I'm Malone Mullen reporting live for Here and Now.
Moving now to national news, Toronto police confirm that an 18-year-old woman and a 10-year-old girl were killed in last night's gun rampage. 13 people were taken to hospital, some with critical injuries. Police are asking witnesses of the Danforth Avenue shooting to come forward as they piece together what happened. Some are already sharing what they saw.
He ran in front of the car, but then he stopped and raised a gun and started shooting. And so I just saw the first shot, which was, I've never seen a shot before. So it was a flash. And then I just grabbed my partner and I said, duck, and I crouched and sped out.
Witnesses say the shooter zigzagged across the street with a handgun. He's dead, but it's not yet clear how he died. Police did exchange gunfire with him, and the Special Investigations Unit is investigating. The shooter's name has not yet been released. And coming up in about 30 minutes, Anthony's conversation with a Newfoundlander who recently moved to the Toronto neighborhood where the shooting took place.
At one house in the center of St. John's, people coming and going at all hours, bags of pills, cash, needles, all seen exchanged no matter what time of day. But now a group of Calvert Avenue residents in St. John's are fed up with it all and they want to see an end to this sordid activity. Here and Now's Megan McCabe is looking into their complaints. Megan joins me live. What are the neighbors' main concerns, Megan?
Well, they're worried about their safety, and they say that even though this house has been like this for about 20 years, it's recently gotten much, much worse. And that's why they formed a neighborhood watch group just last month and laid out a detailed list of all of the things that they have seen and sent it in an open letter to the city, the province, and the RNC. I sat down with 3 of those Calvert Avenue residents this morning. We've agreed to withhold their identities out of fear for their safety, but they gave me an earful about the violence and brazen criminal activity they see firsthand. In this 3-apartment house, they say all the problems are concentrated on one level, the main floor. They also say things have quieted down a little since a violent incident last week brought a heavy police presence, but they don't expect that to last long.
We've seen people just walking on the street holding knives or bats or golf clubs, just beating them off the poles. And one gentleman we've seen come out of the house, he'd just been recently beaten by a baseball bat. There's not even any effort to hide what's going on there. I mean, we've seen giant hockey bags being passed back and forth. We just all as a community are like, oh, there's another delivery.
These residents say they understand that the people living in this rental apartment are vulnerable. Many of them part of the drug crisis, living with mental health and addictions issues, and freshly out of jail. But they say that no one is getting the help they need there. Mayor Danny Breen.
The city's role is in the property conditions, and we undertake the inspections, and there's been no inspections deficiencies that are serious enough so far to close down the property or to condemn it or to take it out of service. So we continue when we get complaints to go in and do our inspections, and our staff deal with them quickly.
Now, despite what the mayor says, residents say that something needs to be done, and it needs to be done now. I just got off the phone with one of the residents who says now that this story has gone public, they're getting more and more calls about people concerned about other houses like this around the area. Reporting live for Here and Now, I'm Megan McCabe.
It's amazing as an artist to be here in Stephenville, being able to do Broadway-style productions in such a beautiful theater.
We live on Avenue Q, our friends do too.
Celebrating 40 years of professional theater. We'll take you to the Stephenville Festival coming up on Here and Now.
Well, you might want to check your freezer and cupboard for several recalled products. Uncle Ben's is recalling 2 fast and fancy instant rice products sold only in Eastern Canada. The company says the seasoning in the country chicken flavor and the broccoli and cheddar flavor may contain salmonella. And Dominion stores are recalling no-name brand chicken nuggets and $10 boxes of chicken fries. One person has gotten sick from eating the nuggets, and Ritz Bits sandwiches are also on the recall list due to salmonella risk. There's more information on the Canadian Food Inspection Agency website.
Well, another Tely 10 is in the books. The 91st running of the race took place on Sunday. Colin Fewer won the men's race with a time of 52:05, snatching his 11th Tely 10 title. Jennifer Murrin, the first female to finish, came in less than 5 minutes after Fewer at 56:58. She was taken into the first aid tent shortly after finishing. The weather yesterday was hot and humid, and it took the best out of some of the runners, more than in previous years. Out of nearly 4,700 registered participants, roughly 50 people received medical attention on site. 10 were seen in hospital. Injuries ranged from sprains to heat stroke, but despite the elements, it was still a record-breaking Tely 10. 80-year-old Florence Barron smashed the 80-plus women's category by more than 45 minutes.
Oh, I feel great, and I'm glad I was able to do it in, close to the time that I thought I might. But the humidity was so bad. It was so bad today. You just had to adjust your pace. There was no way. You'd run out of breath.
First, I can say now I've got Tely 10, number 7 behind me.
This Tely 10 competitor has a lot to be proud of.
Especially since she's battling stage 3 cancer. Her story coming up. Welcome back. Well, every year, the Tely 10 brings more than just a running competition. It also brings incredible stories of perseverance, determination, and hope. Tonight, Here Now's Ryan Cook brings you one such story.
The miles these have logged, the rewards of a tiresome struggle. Susan Glenn has tackled the Tely 10 6 times, the Royal St. John's Regatta 8 times. These walls are a shrine to the accomplishments of a healthy woman. But these days, Susan Glenn is fighting stage 3 ovarian cancer, a disease that kills more than 60% of women within 5 years of their diagnosis. On Sunday morning, she flashed her signature thumbs up and headed for her 7th Tely 10. It's a far cry from where she was less than a month ago, undergoing her 26th chemotherapy treatment in just 4 years.
A couple of chemo this past year really took me down hard. I was hospitalized and it was brutal.
Her illness and her treatment pushed her to the limits, but she didn't shy away from the cancer. She leaned into it for strength.
I'm going to be thinking about some of the ladies who passed away this year in Women of Hope who lost their battle with ovarian cancer. So I'm going to be thinking about them, but I'm also going to be thinking about the ladies who are going through chemo and radiation and a lot of different things.
8 a.m., the race begins. A grueling 10 miles from Paradise to downtown St. John's. An hour later, the elite runners are crossing the finish line. After 2 hours, the casual runners are in. At the 3-hour mark, the walkers are coming down the home stretch, but there's no sign of Susan Glenn. Moments later, exhausted but pushing forward, she makes her way to the last turn and down the final stretch across the finish line. Next week, she'll be back in the chemo chair for the 27th time. The latest fight in year 4 of a disease with a bleak 5-year outlook. But on Sunday, Susan Glenn was victorious.
It felt good. I'm pretty impressed. I can say now I've got Tely 10, number 7 behind me, and we'll look ahead for next year and go to number 8.
She's going to have to make a little more space on her living room wall. Ryan Cook, CBC News, St. John's.
Another update is brought to you by Take Charge Business Efficiency Program. Over 570 businesses have saved energy and taken charge of their bottom line. Find out how you can too.
Welcome back, Anthony.
Yes, nice to see you. I feel like I haven't been here in ages.
You had some nice weather when you were off.
Yes, and I must thank you for that, since you're the one who brings us.
Take all the credit, of course.
And we'll get to the weather with Carolyn in just a minute, but there was something very exciting for a lot of people in the St. John's area.
Oh my goodness, it was packed. The St. John's Community Market had its grand opening on Saturday. The old, now converted Metrobus depot was packed with hundreds of people.
Now, this is the first permanent market space in St. John's, and it's taken more than 5 years of planning and development, as well as 9 months of renovations. The market used to run on summer Saturdays in its old location, but the new building will see vendors twice a week, the regular Saturday slot, and now on Wednesdays from 2 p.m. in the afternoon until 8 o'clock.
Interesting. So that might draw a different crowd Wednesday evening.
I have no doubt that having just seen those sweets, I'll be there, and maybe some of the healthy stuff as well. But it really looks like a great spot.
So much good food, for sure.
A lot of people will be there.
Well, it was a great day today in St. John's. A bit windy and a bit
sticky.
humid, yeah. But lots of hot temperatures around the island for sure, but it is cooling down a little bit. Let's start with a look at our highs today. So 24 degrees was the high in St. John's. It felt a lot warmer than that. The hot spot today, central areas. Gander looking at 25 degrees today, and it has been quite warm there over the past few days, but it will be cooling down tonight. There is some short-lived relief coming at least, and that is because of these showers that are coming up through overnight tonight, bringing some fairly heavy showers to the Avalon. Bonavista saw about 17 millimeters of rain not too long ago. So we also have this fog advisory in effect for the south coast from Burgeo over to Conegra. So that will probably be in effect for the next few days. So if you are traveling in that area, keep in mind that at times visibility will be low. So overnight tonight, here are those showers that will be pushing through across the Avalon and Burin Peninsula overnight tonight. And here's just a little bit of a closer look to get a better idea of the timeline. So at around 9 o'clock, that's when we should be seeing some of the heaviest showers in the St. John's area and along the southern Avalon. So we're looking at 5 to 10 millimeters for the St. John's area and along the coast as well. Temperatures going down to 11 degrees, and you can see in central areas, Grand Falls, Windsor, overnight lows 11 degrees as well. So it is cooling down quite significantly in that neck of the woods. So tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes and you head out the door, this is what you're going to see in St. John's. 12 degrees to start the day with some cloudy skies. A few showers there on the Burin Peninsula, and lots of sunshine really for the rest of the province. Temperatures fairly warm to start in western Newfoundland. So throughout the day tomorrow, we're looking at cloudy skies for most of the island, but some shower action in the Corner Brook area as well as in Labrador. So this is how things will unfold tomorrow. 20 degrees as the high in St. John's, so a bit cooler tomorrow than it was today. Mainly cloudy skies throughout the day. A chance of showers for the southern Avalon. Warmer in the Gander area, 25 degrees with that humidex. It's going to feel more like 30 or 31 degrees, so a bit sticky there tomorrow. And on the west coast, we're looking at about 5 to 10 millimeters of rain for the Corner Brook area, so that's where most of the wet weather will be tomorrow. Along the Straits, looking like a great day in Mary's Harbor, 25 degrees there. And for the rest of Labrador, shower action there for Lab West. Lab City could see about 5 millimeters of rain. 24 degrees as the high for Churchill Falls, so shaping up to be quite a nice day along the coast as well. I'll have a look at your long range a little bit later.
Where does the name Kitty Vitty come from? No one knows. It's been a confusing name for several hundred years.
Is it Kitty Vitty or Quite a Vida? That's just one of the stories you'll hear in CBC's special series Down at the Lake. Coming up in part 1, a look at Kitty Vitty or Quite a Vida Village.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, next week, Quidi Vidi Lake will celebrate a milestone, the 200th anniversary of the Royal St. John's Regatta. Now, you might already know a lot about the history of the races, but what about the other stories from Quidi Vidi's shores?
Well, Down at the Lake is a special CBC mini documentary series, and it's broken down into the north, south, east, and west sides of the lake, and we're going to air that on Here Now starting tonight, actually for the next 4 nights. And tonight we start with part 1 of Down at the Lake, exploring the eastern region of Quidi Vidi Village.
Quidi Vidi Lake, home to the oldest organized sporting event in North America, the Royal St. John's Regatta. An event celebrating 200 years of history, it draws tens of thousands of people lakeside for what some call the largest garden party in the world. It's a day at the races with concession stands, games of chance, and socializing. But that's just one part of the lake's rich history. Quidi Vidi has always been a local destination, a place for people to come together. There are so many stories to tell along each shore of the lake. Tales of wild parties, strange sports, eccentric characters, and unique buildings. Stories that have shaped our local culture and heritage.
I'm Larry Dowie. I'm the Director of Programming and Public Engagement at the Rooms. So we're here today in the White Hills because there are so many stories about this place that can be told from this perspective.
Let's start with its namesake, Quidi Vidi Village. Hidden behind the hill at the far end of the lake, it's a tiny fishing village with a protected harbor, settled early in the 16th century.
Where does the name Quidi Vidi come from? No one knows. It's been a confusing name for several hundred years. My name is Philip Hiscock. I am a folklorist, linguist sometimes. I'm at the edge of Quidi Vidi Gut. We don't even know what language the name Quidi Vidi comes from. When people see it written down on a sign, they say, oh, that must be French. Other people have claimed that it comes from Italian, que divide, a Portuguese one. Other people have claimed that it comes from Latin. All of these have been claimed to say either, what a beautiful sight, or here is a divide for the land. Now, the place is normally called Quidi Vidi today, and has been for a long time. We look at the maps going back in the beginning of the 18th century. It's spelled K-I-T-T-Y-V-I-T-T-Y. Most people don't pronounce it as T's today, they pronounce it as D's, Quidi Vidi.
Quidi Vidi is one way to say it, but you might hear other people say Quida Vida, a pronunciation that became popular about 100 years ago.
It was mostly associated with people who lived on what we now call, most people call it Quida Vida Road, which is the road that goes from Signal Hill over to Forest Road. But also with a claim that it went back to John Guy, and that this was the spot where Kirk's colony, based down on the southern shore, and Guy's colony, based over in Conception Bay, divided. So it was the Guy Divide. So people then said, oh, Quida Vida, Guy Divide, right, of course. But I've heard people say that people who live in this area will sometimes avoid the name altogether, and they'll simply call it the village.
Everyone refers to it as the Gut, or the village. My name is Aidan Duff. I live in Quidi Vidi Village in St. John's.
Duff lives in a repurposed old church on the main road.
It was in the 60s, and the church was no longer in use, and the Anglican Church was going to tear it down. And it was a group got together, you know, Shane O'Day and Shani Duff and amongst others, and they put together a group they called the Newfoundland Historic Trust, and they asked me was I interested in buying it, and mentioned it to my wife, Pinky, and the answer was yes, and here we are.
That act of saving the church marked the beginning of the heritage movement in Newfoundland and Labrador, and for the Duffs, it was a labor of love.
It was pretty well 100%, outside, inside, plumbing, electrical.
But Duff says it was fun, and there's no other place like it.
Probably the most unique original feature is the inscription on the arch here. It's Holy, 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 Lord God of Hosts. And we didn't know it was there till we took the plywood off and found it. And of course, naturally, we kept it. And my wife got up on a scaffold and spent, well, you're up there a week with an artist brush painting around the gold letterings. And the hooks that you saw up above, they hold the two ends of the building in. Oh, the ceiling is still here. I'm pretty sure it's original. Someone told me that the Americans put that up. But when they were blasting over here, they put a few rocks through the roof, and to compensate, they fixed the roof and put new ceiling in. I don't know if it's true or not. It's a good story, though.
Saving the old church wasn't the first act of preserving heritage space in Quidi-Vidi. In 1894, 2 years after the Great Fire ravaged downtown St. John's, a letter to the editor was published in a local newspaper, similar to one you might see today. Complaints about not having a development plan for the area and some shoddy structures being built around the lake.
Word gets out that in many of these structures, these shelters, these ill-built houses, they're actually selling booze, illicit sales, and so they become known as shebeens, the Irish term. And so there would have been lots of complaints about shebeens and drinking down around the lake. And he ends off the letter by saying, you know, everything has gone to hell in a handbasket, you know, start thinking about that beautiful lake. The next thing you know, what's going to happen down there, there's going to be a slaughterhouse. And of course, if you go around the lake nowadays, there is a chicken slaughterhouse down there.
Those concerns about development continued into the early 1900s. Prime Minister Edward Morris started hearing that farmers around the lake were being approached by private developers to sell their land for a new subdivision, the area from the head of the lake along the boulevard.
He realized if these people sold this property to private individuals or to a corporation, and then the people of the town would not have access to the lake. And so he purchased the land so that he could secure this place as the site for the regatta.
It was that gesture that has kept development at bay around the lake, keeping Quidi-Vidi as a place to be enjoyed by future generations. Tomorrow, in part 2 of our series, Down at the Lake, we head to the south side of Quidi-Vidi where old buildings still stand.
This place opened here in 1859 and they've been here ever since.
"200 years is 200 reasons to celebrate." On Regatta Day, CBC will be live from the shores of Quidi-Vidi Lake. The St. John's Morning Show, Crosstalk, and On the Go will all be in the crowd. Here and Now is a 90-minute live Regatta Day special. CBC live from Quidi-Vidi for the 200th Royal St. John's Regatta.
Mom, everyone wondering where we were and if we were okay. Of course we were safe, but certainly shaken up.
Last night's shooting in Toronto had friends and family of this Newfoundland woman holding their breath. My conversation with Tess Hemian, that's coming up. Welcome back to Here and Now. It's an act of violence that still has Canadians in shock. A 10-year-old girl and an 18-year-old woman are dead after a gunman opened fire in the Danforth area of Toronto in the city's East End. The gunman is also dead. 13 others injured. Tess Hemian from St. John's recently moved to the Danforth, and she joins us via Skype. Tess, where were you last night when the gunfire started?
Luckily, we were home in our living room, just watching TV.
And could you hear anything?
Yeah, so, you know, when you move to a big city, you become a little bit more accustomed to sirens, unfortunately. So there were a lot of sirens last night, and we didn't really think anything of it until we woke up this morning.
And so what happened this morning that made you realize that this violence had happened?
Well, both of our phones were buzzing, 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 and what we woke up to were messages from home, messages from people here in town that didn't live in this area. My mom, everyone wondering where we were and if we were okay. And of course we were safe, but certainly shaken up.
So obviously getting lots of calls from Newfoundland to make sure that you're okay. What is it that drew you to that part of Toronto?
We moved to this area because there was so much green space, but really we heard that it was really family friendly, tons of awesome restaurants. We've definitely seen since we've been here, the summers are a light in the nighttime with all sorts of music and food, and just families are having fun together, which was what really drew us here.
And for people who don't know the Danforth, I mean, it really is a place where the summer is all about eating all kinds of different food from different cultures. How disturbing has this event, you know, hit you?
You know what? It's really difficult. Like, it sort of is difficult for me to even comprehend at this point. I've had a pretty weird morning. Certainly not normal. Certainly worrying, especially for someone who loves Newfoundland so much. And I think it's no surprise to anyone that I would like to be home. So something like this definitely rattles you.
Were some of the places that this gunman zigzagged through, were these places that you might have walked through or maybe even eaten at?
Yeah, it's so close to home. I mean, my favorite pizza place is in one of the shops they have on Twitter there. My yoga studio, ironically, is just down the road. So I mean, I've made this my home. It's my community now. So it's definitely you know, shakes you up. And I think that when I walk down that road today, when I go to yoga, I'm going to feel differently.
One last question for you. Canadians often can be pretty smug about shootings, thinking that these things only happen in the United States. How do you make sense of something like this?
I don't think there's any way to make sense of it. I mean, you know, we like to think that we're in Canada and we're above this sort of thing, and it just, we're not. And, you know, it's human nature to ask why, and I don't think right now we even need to know why. I think we just need to support each other and be kind to one another and hope that this doesn't continue.
Well, listen, Tess, I hope that you and your neighborhood get through all this and things get back to normal. Thanks for coming on Here and Now.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, as you heard there, a gunman and 2 victims are dead. 12 others are in hospital after last night's shooting in Toronto's Greektown neighborhood. We have a map to give you a sense of the scene, and witnesses have been sharing their experiences with CBC.
Approached Dimitri Cafe at the same time that the shooter approached, and he was facing the cafe. He pulled out a gun, a black handgun, and started shooting through the window just as we were passing him, and we saw the glass shatter.
I was at 7 Numbers, a restaurant, and we were eating, and the guy started shooting, and we were sitting actually out on the patio, and we heard shots, so we went inside, and then he came in the restaurant, and he shot the girl right in front of me, and she's only 31.
I was just sitting by the fountain right at the intersection, and we were having dessert, and went to go throw the dessert out at the garbage can, and literally minutes after, I just started to hear like bang, 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 like super close. Instantly, I thought fireworks or something like that, and I saw someone with a gun, holding a gun up. It's in black, I'm pretty sure. And then I saw someone just drop to the floor, and as soon as I saw that, I literally just ran.
Well, police across Canada are expressing concern over a rising number of crimes involving guns. A new Statistics Canada report says last year more than 7,700 people were victims of crime involving a firearm. That's up for the third year in a row. The increase is largely due to higher numbers in two provinces in particular, Saskatchewan, which reported an extra 116 incidents over the previous year, and Ontario with an extra 92 incidents. Overall, the national crime rate rose 1% last year. StatsCan says part of the rise is due to a 13% increase in the number of sexual assaults being reported. And that, in turn, may be due to the growth of the Me Too movement.
Okay, let's meet our young athletes of the day. First up is 7-year-old Avery Keeping from Port aux Basques. Avery's been figure skating for 3 years. She's also on a synchronized skating team.
Oh, when Avery isn't skating, she likes to swim, and she's now a Red Cross Level 1. Congratulations, Avery. And our second athlete of the day is Luke Kearney of Gander. Luke is 3 years old and started his first season of indoor soccer this year.
It's not much bigger than a Timbit. Looked great. He plans to join the outdoor season this summer, and he's having a ball. Congratulations, Luke. Right. Now, just before we get on to the weather, some news from the big land. NAV Canada, unfortunately, cutting 4 weather jobs in Cartwright.
Yeah, the move comes as the company automates weather stations at small airports across the country.
Mayor Dwight Lethbridge says it's a horrible situation, and the Southern Labrador community of nearly 500 is going to miss the year-round work. Starting in September, pilots are going to be able to view the airstrip through various webcams. So once again, technology causing some difficulties.
Yeah, absolutely not the first time, won't be the last for sure. So yeah, now let's have a look at our weather forecast. I'm going to start with some current temperatures, still quite warm in St. John's, 21 degrees at the moment. In through central areas, Gander, 20 degrees right now. So yeah, not a a bad evening out there for sure. Now, we do have this fog advisory once again in effect for the south coast. So if you are going to be in that area, keep in mind that visibility may be a bit low there. Overnight tonight, we're looking at some showers that will be moving through, but tomorrow morning, we're looking at mainly cloudy skies in the east and some shower action for the west coast tomorrow, as well as for western Labrador. So this is your picture for tomorrow. 20 degrees as the high in St. John's, a mainly cloudy day. Chance we might see a little shower a bit later. Marystown looking at some showers throughout the day tomorrow. 5 to 10 millimeters of rain for the Corner Brook area. 23 degrees as the high there. So as we move into Labrador, about 5 millimeters of rain expected in the western portion of Labrador. A few showers in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and then clearing off there along the coast with more showers to come overnight tonight, overnight tomorrow night, as you can see. So here you can see all the showers moving across Labrador Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning. So it's going to be a wet few days for most of Labrador over the next couple of days. For the island in the east, mainly cloudy skies, temperatures really bumping up. Central Newfoundland, 30 degrees as the high on Wednesday. So they did have a heat warning in effect today that has ended, but I would not be surprised if we see another one come into effect over the next couple of days. Cloudy with showers for western Newfoundland, 25 degrees there, and much cooler than it's been along the coast of Labrador, 18 degrees as the high on Wednesday with some showers there. So as we move ahead to Thursday afternoon, some shower action there on the west coast once again. Continuing showers for most of Labrador on Thursday afternoon. For central and the east, we're looking at about 25 to 28 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds, so another hot one coming on Thursday afternoon. Chance of showers for the western portion of the island, and showers right across Labrador on Thursday, with temperatures a little bit cooler as well in western Labrador, 20 degrees as the high. So this is a look at your next 5 days in the east. You can see we have quite a nice few days coming, but then as we head into the weekend, it looks like things might take a little bit of a turn. Possibility of some showers. It's still early days, so hopefully that will change, but same sort of picture looking for central Newfoundland, 24 degrees as the high right now on Saturday with some showers, 28 there on Friday. So western as well, looking at some showers as we head into the weekend, but once again, it is still fairly early, so that could change. Eastern Labrador, wet weather pretty much for most of the week, and as well for western Labrador, lots of showers and a little bit of a dip in temperatures as we head into the weekend there. Anthony?
Thanks, Carolyn. Now to Stephenville, where you'll find a not-so-folky theatre festival 40 years running. Tucked away off the main highway, the festival features Broadway shows that get the audiences moving. Here now is Colleen Connors, stopped by the Arts and Culture Centre to check out a dress rehearsal.
Here on Avenue Q, we live on Avenue Q, our friends do too.
Hi, my name's Travis Paul. I'm a musical theater performer and puppeteer with the Stephenville Theatre Festival. Nikki's in Avenue Q. He's one of the 4 puppets in Avenue Q. Well, sorry, 4 puppeteers. There's 4 puppeteers in Avenue Q. There's probably about 20 different puppets, so they're all being puppeted by different guys. The show's really interesting because it's half puppets, half actual people. So the puppets get away with a lot more than the actors on stage can. So it's a bit of adult humor, but it takes this Sesame Street style that was only really seen in one realm, and it opens it up and it translates it into a musical, which is universal. Everyone loves to watch a musical.
Oh my God, it's Gary Coleman.
Yes, I am. I'm Gary Coleman from TV's Different Strokes. I made a lot of money that got stolen by the coast.
Hi, I'm Heather Broughton, and I'm the artistic director of the Stephenville Theatre Festival. Well, it's amazing to get the chance to run my own theatre company here and choose all of these shows, bring the people from across Canada. There's 40 some odd people working at the festival for the summer, and yeah, it means a lot. I directed 3 of the shows, so it's amazing as an artist to be here in Stephenville, being able to do Broadway-style productions in such a beautiful theatre. and put together a really beautiful ensemble of actors, and they live here together, they work here together, so it's sort of like a theater summer camp, but it's highly professional at the same time.
It's incredible. The community here, I honestly can't believe it. To think that there's something like this in Newfoundland, especially when you don't find it a lot of other places in Canada, let alone. You walk out on the street to go get your groceries and people look at you, they recognize you, they know you from the shows, they know you from the season before, and everyone's got a hand in it. Everyone wants to support the festival. How else would it run for 40 years?
Welcome to Avenue Q.
Well, there were hundreds of hugs and tears of joy at a Halifax port this morning. HMCS St. John's arrived home with its 240-member crew following a 6-month deployment overseas. Reporting from the pier is CBC's Brett Ruskin.
Hundreds of families are here on the jetty here in Halifax for the arrival of HMCS St. John's. The frigate has been away overseas on deployment for the last 6 months in the Mediterranean. So families here haven't seen their loved ones for about half a year, since January at least. And so today it was a joyful reunion for many families. Have a look.
Awesome.
It's a great day, mostly because my dog is from Montreal, and she came all the way across here to see me. So yeah, it's a beautiful day.
It's really good to be home. It was a very long trip, and it's time for a break. It's good to be home.
Now, the deployment was part of Operation Reassurance, an operation that is still underway and in fact has now been extended by another 4 years. Last week, HMCS Ville de Quebec left this very jetty as well to replace HMCS St. John's. Meanwhile, the sailors that got off the ship today now have a well-deserved rest. Brett Ruskin, CBC News, Halifax.
Look at today's viewer photo of the day. Isn't that beautiful? Colors.
It's gorgeous. It's much easier when Debbie is here secretly whispering clues to me.
Yeah,
Because
hard to tell where this one is.
I don't have a clue.
I'll have the answer coming up. Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, on Friday's show, we told you about the events happening at the Eastbound Speed Park near Avondale to celebrate its 5th anniversary.
Now, one of the big events was freestyle motocross jumping, which, in case you missed it, looks like this. Whoa. Now, that may seem impressive, but Carolyn Stokes said, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to give this a whirl. So she slapped a GoPro on her helmet.
Oh, yeah, right.
And there she is, getting all ready.
So.
And check this out. Giving you what the view is like from there.
Oh, my.
I hope you asked for double time for that. That's look at that.
Oh, I can feel that in my stomach.
Okay, my palms are getting all sweaty now.
Me too.
That's incredible. One more time.
That is some pretty daring stuff.
Yeah, sort of getting dizzy here. Now, one of the other big attractions that we get to was sort of, it was monster truck driving. And this happened with Weekend AM host Heather Barrett, who decided to hop along for a ride.
All right, Dawn, so how do we get in?
Let me show you. Take the bars, just climb up the bars, just watch your head on the back stuff, and pull yourself up and grab whatever you can up here to step up like a ladder.
Okay, I'm going to hand you my microphone.
Okay, got it?
Yeah.
All right. Step up, you have another step.
Yeah. There we are. And step in like a ladder. Okay, so where do I
put
step?
your foot there.
Yeah.
And probably hold on to here.
Yep. Here I am. All right. Okay. I'm holding on.
All right.
Oh, monster truck. This is amazing.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
A lot of adrenaline. I mean, it's compared to a car. When you get on it, you can, fly over buses and vans and pretty much crush anything in your sight. So it's a lot different, a lot more horsepower for sure. I was in the military for 8 years as a medic, and my career choice was going to be something in the medical field, and I kind of gave that all up to do this. This is just, it's in my blood, I guess, the racing part.
Wow.
Yep, in her blood. I would not argue with her, and she can drive wherever she wants.
That is fun stuff.
In other news, sort of, not to be outdone by the British Trump baby balloon, the Trump chicken has surfaced once again in the U.S.
Yes, Trump chicken first made his debut last year. Yesterday, the 10-meter inflatable was spotted on a boat sailing off San Francisco near Alcatraz Island, the site of the infamous prison.
Trying to send a message. Now, Trump chicken was wearing, as you see there, Prisoner 45, that shirt. It's a nod to the fact that Donald Trump is the 45th president of the United States. And there was also a banner, as you see there, calling on Trump to release his personal income tax information. That has been a common practice for all previous U.S. leaders. Trump chicken.
Trump chicken.
Sailing by Alcatraz.
Okay.
What's next?
Well, let's have a look at our viewer photo of the day, shall we? And find out where this beautiful shot was taken. I love this because of all of the different colors. It goes from yellow to orange to pink and blue.
No hints?
No hints, really.
Okay.
It's
South
close,
Coast.
It's close by.
Yeah, not South Coast at all.
Holyrood.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Allison Stamp, for sending that in to our email address. nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Yeah, and keep those pictures coming. As Carol mentioned, nlphotos@cbc.ca. It is a lovely picture, and please keep sending them. It's good to be back. Thank you for helping me get through tonight.
To have you back.
You get rusty on vacation, but we'll see you again tomorrow.
Good night.